Hello, and welcome to Agents of Nonprofit. My name is Alexander Lapa, but please call me Alex, and I'm here to talk to everyday superheroes that help nonprofits using technology. Since this is my first episode, I wanted to paint the landscape of where I want to take this podcast. But going forward, my intention is to have weekly guests that I interview, whether they are service providers, such as consultants like myself, or are part of an organization that produces products that is able to help nonprofits. The focus of the podcast will mostly be around CRM, client relationship management, because that is my particular area of expertise. But I do want to investigate and explore other aspects of technology, such as human capital management, HCM. There's learning management systems, LMSs, and various other digital experiences. So when I talk about technology, I'm talking about software, systems, processes. I'm not talking about physical technology. And the idea is to talk to what I call everyday superheroes, people who are really helping nonprofits through their services or their technologies. In terms of CRM, which I believe is the core of a nonprofit, I'll talk about topics such as stewardship, fundraising, donation management, volunteering, program management, and case management, among others. And the intended audience is nonprofit directors, people on the board of directors, or anyone who's interested in learning a bit more about technology and how it can help nonprofits. A bit about me. I was born in Montreal, Canada, to some European parents. My father was an electrical engineer, so I was lucky enough to be introduced to computers at a very young age. I actually had one of the first personal computers that you could buy. And ever since then, I was drawn into that space. In school, I went to computer engineering at McGill, and soon after, I was doing development work, coding on specific hardware, which is what a typical engineer would normally do, a typical software engineer, that is. And I did that for many years, mostly in the for-profit space. And around 2003, I was introduced to CRM, client relationship management. And the big player at that time was Siebel CRM. I started as a developer, and I moved my way up to an analyst and then to an architect. And a few years later, I was introduced to Salesforce, which is an amazing platform. Since then, I worked in both the for-profit and the non-for-profit space, but I found myself drawn more and more to the nonprofit space. One of my first Salesforce clients actually was a nonprofit here in Montreal, a volunteer organization. And what I really enjoyed about that contract was that I felt an immediate feedback. I was able to have a dramatic impact in the success of their business, and I was able to see that very quickly. It was like I was part of their success, and I didn't always get that feeling when I was working for a larger enterprise company. So the more time I spent in the nonprofit space, the more I liked it, and therefore, and thus, a few years ago, I specialized in nonprofits. I work with them exclusively now in Salesforce. Salesforce is a wonderful platform for nonprofits. They actually have a product built for nonprofits called the Nonprofit Cloud. But just because I'm familiar with it doesn't mean necessarily it's the best tool for all nonprofits. And that's part of this exploration, is to see what other CRMs are available and when and why would a nonprofit organization choose one over another. I look forward to sharing my passion with you and to exploring this space. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. On that note, my name again is Alexander Lapa, and I hope you join me again next time for Agents of Nonprofit.